health, there's this concept in Ayurveda called dinacharya, which is daily rituals. So
Mm.
whether it's your meditation in the morning or, oleation, I'm thinking of like the oil, people clean the mouth with the oil. So
Oh,
like a
like oil
mouthwash,
pulling. Yeah.
the oil pulling. Yes, thank you so much.
Yeah.
The oil pulling or
When you have multiple languages rolling around your head, it's not always.
similarly with writing, a dinacharya really helps. So I like to write in the mornings because that's the vata or creative time,
Mhm.
and it helps me. And I start my day job like 6:30 in the morning, so I'm going to get the writing out of the way because, like I said,
When do you wake
it's
up?
before 5. But
Okay,
then I
so you
get to
wake up
bed
at
early,
4:30, you have your morning routine, and then you sit down and write from like 5 to 6 and then go to work.
then go to work,
Okay.
shower, then get to work. Because again, for me, there's stream of consciousness, but there's also the pitta routine, which really helps. So there's this word called tapas in yoga, which is self-discipline. And I feel if you have that self-discipline, for people who've had that self-discipline, navigating the pandemic has been slightly easier. I wouldn't say easy, relative. It's all relative, right?
Yeah.
Just because there was something that gave you purpose, not because
Right.
they're better people. It was just purpose. So even with writing, this gives me purpose, having that daily ritual, the dinacharya. But then some days I'll take out because I have weekly columns that magazines that I write for. So there'll be few hours on Sunday, which is like, this is for the column.
Mm.
Or this goes my research time. So you also need those chunk of hours to get research done. But just stream of consciousness writing or ideas, I do that every morning because when you wake up in the morning, there's no clutter around you, like literally and metaphorically, right? So it helps get the creative juices going. And at the same time, then I'm very focused on my job. Like, oh, I have that gift and that privilege of being able to write and create. And now I can get to what really pays my bills, being
Yeah.
very real about it.
Yeah.
And yeah, and I'm not a night owl at all. I like to bum out with the family or read or things like that. So that's my evening ritual. I don't get as much writing done unless there's an editor who sends stuff. Most of my editors by now know that I won't even respond to emails after 6 p.m. So it's very important, whatever your tapas, your self discipline looks like, have that in place. For some people, mornings don't work, and that's fine. But I know people will be like, oh, make it weekly, monthly. No, and you have to be like Pavlov's dog. When you show up daily, even if it's for 10 minutes, your brain knows when it sees a notepad or, journal or an iPad or a laptop or a desktop, oh, it's time to write. So it's
Mm.
important to train your brain. And some days you'll just stare at the screen. It feels like nothing, but you know what? You gave your brain that time to rest, like that deep rest. It's almost like yoga nidra. When you get to it the next day, you will have stuff,
Yeah.
but make it a unless the house or people are on
Right.
fire, god forbid, make it non-negotiable, like this is my time. And let people know, again, unless you're dying, please don't come tell me uh, anything is happening. Just make that date with yourself on a daily basis. And again, it doesn't have to be an hour. Sometimes for me it's just 15 minutes. If you know there are some clients who like to work with me at 5 in the morning because of the time difference. I have
Yeah.
one who worked with me at 4:30 in the morning. So I'm going to have to handle that, right? 4:30 to 5:30. Then I breathe, I get dressed. I still have to report to work at 6:30. So I'll still find those, and I want to have that cup of tea with my husband. That's non-negotiable. So what do? I'll write for 15 minutes, but then I feel it's a form of meditation for me. So just figure out what
Mm.
writing means to you. What role does it play? Don't treat it like a chore, because that's when it gets mundane. Like, what does it do for you? Does it give you anxiety? Can we do some deep breathing to lower that anxiety? And don't make it a performance art. Like, just show up to it the way you show up to breathing, to swimming, to biking. It becomes that natural. Like, it's almost like befriending this art.
Yeah. God, I have so many things I want to say about that. First of all, I want you to create a blog post about the daily rituals and the Ayurveda of
Mm,
daily rituals. I feel like that's so like I want to read that blog post. But also I love what you said about like if you show up, your brain will sort of have prepared for you a little bit if it
oh
knows that
yeah.
it has to do something. I think about people who are like going through clinical trials where they have to write down their dreams, and because they know that they have a journal sitting next to their bed to write down their dreams first thing in the morning, they remember their dreams better. And I think the same is true for any time that you're mentally preparing for something, whether that's that 5-10 minutes of writing on a daily basis or, breathing or whatever it is that you can anticipate going into. It's like your mind prepares you for it over the course
Hmm.
of the hours leading up to it. I also love that you're like, it doesn't have to be polished and perfect to get it out the door. It's just a daily ritual. But then you also have those time blocks of, this is for, kind of the creative flow. And this is for like, I have a deadline and that I work on that on the weekend. So it is kind of a combination of what's inspiring versus what's urgent